This will be the main workstation for any labs that are coming. It is good and spacious. Along with this, we have our emergency disposal, which is our trash can right here. We got our working sink over there for any decontamination of our lab kits. We got a broom with our dustpan, along with our paper towels right there. We are still waiting on our fire extinguisher and our lab kits, but to proceed, emergency procedures will be to either evacuate through the front door, which will lead to downstairs through those doors, and in case that this one is blocked, we will go through the balcony area where my lab partner is at. We will open this door, exit through here, and meet up at the parking lot over there. Where we will be keeping our lab kit will be in this closet area. It will be stored neatly in one of our corners. Along with that, our shower will be in the bathroom for any emergency decontamination as well. We got our shower. We will also contact our emergency contact just in case of anything that goes on. Along with our fire extinguisher that we're still waiting on, we have our fire alarm. It is a little bit of way, but it is right there just in case of any emergencies. We will make sure that our lab station is always clean. We're always wearing closed-toed shoes, and we wear appropriate clothes that will not soak up the material. Hello. For our experiment this week, for Module 1, we will be doing what will happen if we placed a raw egg in vinegar. Will it dissolve the eggshell or will it leave it intact? The background on it is that the eggshells are made of a substance called calcium carbonate, which is similar to the materials found in chalk and eggshells. When you place the egg in vinegar, a reaction happens between the eggshells and the vinegar. This will cause the eggshell to form bubbles around it, and over time, the shell begins to dissolve. And after a day or two, the hard outer shell disappears completely, leaving behind just a soft inner membrane. With that, let's get into the variables of our experiment, which includes our independence, which is a third cup of white vinegar and a third cup of water. So that way we can compare the two. The dependent variable for the quantitative portion of it will be how long it took the eggshell to dissolve. And for the qualitative is how the eggshells in the solutions, how the eggshell is in the solution along with the textures. The constants will be 2 AA white eggs that are raw, a container, small mason jars, the amount of liquid that we use, which we have said it's a third of a cup of each material, and we will leave it both at a duration of 24 hours so that way we can see the differences. The control will be that our egg placed in water. For our preparations for this, there wasn't really any safety precautions that we weren't expecting, as we knew the acidity of the vinegar and it was safe to use around the immediate area, which includes our pets. The preparations didn't affect the level of execution for our experiment. We were able to execute this safely as it was just simple to do. When did I start thinking about this was when I remembered the different acidity levels and seeing this experiment beforehand and thought it would be fun to try out. So I decided to go with it. Here is our simple setup for our experiment. Here on the right side we have our third cup of water with our grade AA large egg. And on the left side we have our third cup of vinegar with our also AA large egg. They're both raw eggs, so once we submerge them into the liquids, we will time it for 24 hours and see what the results are in that time. The reasons why I chose these chemicals is because they were simple and things that I had at home already, and would like to test this in person as it's never been something I've done in real life, just things that I've seen. How I came up with this was something that I had seen a long time ago when I was in high school in a Reddit post when I was very interested in chemistry at that point, seeing the reaction between an egg and the white vinegar. It's something that sparked in my mind but never really thought of trying it up. As for, I think my hypothesis is pretty strong as to where it stands. It is something that has been tested before, and I understand it's not something original, but it is something that I've always wanted to do and thought it would be happening in that way, as the chemical changes between the acidity of the vinegar compared to the calcium carbonate, which is the shell of the egg, will cause a chemical reaction of it being dissolved over time. I think the hardest thing that will challenge me in this procedure will be the rate at which it actually dissolves, as 24 hours doesn't seem like a very long time to do this, but I think it will do just fine. All right, let's dump them in. First the egg in the water. See how it holds. I might overflow. So it's just overflowed a little bit. And now to do the egg in the white vinegar. And it also overflowed. Let's check it out for a little bit. We can already see a little bit of bubbling happening, seeing as it's starting to dissolve very slowly compared to the white egg, which is kind of standing at the moment. Now for this sort of situation, we have our spill cleanup, which is our paper towels, and that we will safely dispose of in the trash can that we have nearby. After 24 hours, we're here to test our hypothesis and see how strong it was. On the left side, we have the one with white vinegar, and on the right side, we have our egg in water. We will be using a spoon to pick them up, as we do not want to get it on our hands. So we'll start with the one in the water, just to make it easy, and see the changes. As we can tell, it doesn't seem like it's changed much. There's a little bit of water bubbling, but it doesn't look like it did much of a physical change. We will lift it out and put it on this paper plate at the moment to test anything else. It seems like it's still rock solid. It is a solid shell. Now to test the one in our vinegar. Looks like it has dissolved at the top a little bit. It looks like it's flaking off. It has bubbled all around. Let's see if we can turn it over. It has a very squishy feel to it, which is in tandem with our hypothesis. So let's see if we can try and take it out. Try not to touch it. So it seems like most of it has partially dissolved. If we touch it with our spoon, it has a very rubbery feel to it. The only hard part seems to be the part that wasn't really soaked in there. It has a very rubbery feel, as we've already described. Very soft appearance. A lot of the white stuff seems to be what was our shell at some point. There's still some in there. And yeah, that will conclude our experiment, which very much follows with our hypothesis.